Here we are then in the structure stage. We've looked at the question and we have a much better understanding of the instruction and the open concepts we want to explore. And we can also see those 5 open concepts have been added to our structure here as tasks for us to define or explore. What we want to do in this stage is at least begin to set out an outline structure for the piece of work that we're putting together. One way is to use the import button. When I click import, I'm given the option of a Writing Helper project or a visual map. If I click Writing Helper project, I'm invited to load in one of the recent projects from my home screen. If it isn't there, the project I'm looking for, I can go to Browse, find a file and import the structure from there. Let's take this one and preview that structure. You can see there's a structure here from that other project that I might want to bring in, and if I wanted to import that, I can import to give me that structure. And there you can see introduction, literature review, and so on. The open concept tasks didn't change. You may have noticed that there were some open concept tasks from the other project, and they of course don't relate to this project. With regards to the visual mapping import, when you click Visual Map, you're simply invited to find a file, which could be one of various file types that are supported by Writing Helper, including the .mm file format and a Claro Ideas file, for example. The same process happens. You're invited to preview that structure and then import it to either replace or append the new structure onto the one that you have here. Let me explain that a little bit more in terms of the replacement versus appending. If I've made no changes to my structure, so it's still section 1, section 2 through to section 6, irrespective of the open concept tasks. If I have made no changes and I import a structure, the new structure will replace the unchanged one. However, if I have made changes and I import a structure, it will be added onto the end, so I won't lose any work that I've done. What we're going to do for the rest of this video is look a little bit more deeply at this question. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to structure this work. So here goes. So there you can see I've structured my response to the question. Added a background section, added some aims and objectives, and there are some tasks in there that relate to the open concepts and other tasks further down to remind me to write about other authors, for example. And you can see it's a fairly sensible structure with introduction, background, literature review, and a discussion. I used various tools to help me do that, adding sections, subsections, and tasks with the 3 buttons on the Add area of the toolbar. And then there are various other tools to allow me to move an item up. Let's take this one for example, move it up and down, and you can reorganize the structure that way. You can also pick items up and drag them to rearrange. You can indent, which converts sections to subsections and subsections to tasks, and you can outdent, which converts tasks to subsections and subsections to sections. We'll move on to sources next, but it is worth noting here that you don't have to get your structure perfect at this point. You get the chance throughout the Writing Helper process to come back and review your structure, and that will be something you do that's not unexpected or unanticipated. You'll find some reading, you'll find some more evidence, which will then re-inform edits to the structure, which themselves might re-inform new sources and vice versa. And you may iterate around that until you're happy.